Charlie Kirk, the head of Talking Point USA, a man who has made a life, literally a life, pushing out some very destructive and distasteful things about this country and its people, has died. For my information, he was shot in Utah during a rally. Right now, the suspect is not in custody, so we don't know what the motives are, who he was, who he or she was, put it this way. We don't know anything yet. The first news of his death came from Donald Trump in the social media post. So honestly, I don't think we should trust that either, but it's been confirmed by law enforcement that he has passed away. My heart goes out to his family. Their kids didn't deserve to lose their father like this or any other way. But that's where my sympathy ends. Now, this shouldn't have happened. Political disagreements should end in the halls of Congress or in the boardroom. They should not be ended by the barrel of a gun. It should not end with someone losing their life. Regardless of how I personally feel about Charlie Kirk or anyone that I oppose, I've said this before many times about many Republicans and some Democrats. We may disagree, but the gun is not the answer. The bullet is not the answer. It does not deserve the final word. But I am not going to sit here and try to romanticize Charlie Kirk. I'm not doing that. I won't do that. Because I know the man's history. I know what he has said and he has done, and the harm he pushed on Americans of color, in the LGBTQ, and those who do not identify themselves as Republicans or conservatives. And especially in the recent years, those who don't identify themselves as Donald Trump supporters. The fact is this: Charlie Kirk was a racist, he was a bigot, he was a misogynist. His entire life, his entire political life, let me put it this way, was on using the hatred and fears of people against the other, whether the other it happens to be an American of a different color or a different race or a different religion or anything else, or a different sexual orientation or identification. This man was a hateful, vile human being. But let me make one thing abundantly clear. His life did not have to end, should not have ended in this way. No one's should have ended in this way. Now, I said that, and I'll continue to say that, but the people I have not heard this from has been the Republican Party. When the news broke of this happening on TikTok, they say they want revenge for this happening. They want payback for this. Charlie Kirk was a political activist representing the MAGA. He was not a brother or a sister, at least not mine. He was not your father, personally your father. He wasn't anyone in your family. Now, if you feel sad for the man and his family, that's your right. But don't start barking threats because of some imagined crime that you think that Democrats are responsible for. Again, we don't know. We don't have a suspect in custody. We don't know what the motives are. So everything that the MAGA is screaming out now is pure speculation. But let me make one thing clear. He is not worth going to prison over. And that's exactly what will happen if you decide to take up arms. Charlie Kirk is not worth it. He was not. If you agreed with what he believed in, that's your business. But killing for them is never, ever permissible. And shouldn't be to you. As I said earlier, we may disagree politically, but that disagreement should not end with a bullet. It shouldn't end with the barrel of the gun. It should end with me voting against you or you voting against me. Never the gun. I'm sorry this happened to Charlie Kirk. But I'm going to remember the man for what he is and said. Not the rosy palm idea that you want. And if that offends you, too bad. You want to remember him as a renegade, as a rogue, as one of the guys who are on the ferry, that's your business. But I will remember the facts. A hateful, destructive human being who trafficked in the hatred and racism that has split this country completely apart. Because of him, people like him, this country could never heal for the scars that people like Charlie Kirk gave to this nation. I wish his family well, but Charlie Kirk will not be remembered as a good man, as far as I know, by the people who know the facts. CTP, no truth, God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right.